This is an Iraq war story, a tragedy really, about two men in the same army unit, one shot by the other and left paralyzed from the chest down. It's a case that raises a number of troubling questions about the potential consequences of repeated tours of duty, about an attempted cover-up, even about the security of a presidential candidate.
My name is Dwayne Cole, and this is what happened to me in Iraq. I was a resident of Brooklyn, New York, 28 years old. I'm a member, or was a member, of the U.S. Army Reserve. I did 2 tours in Iraq. The first tour was 04-05, Camp Anaconda.
See, the sun is up now, it's getting on bright.
My second tour was 06-07 at Key West Base.
I'll let you see exactly what's going on in the heart of Iraq.
Sergeant Cole survived 2 roadside bomb attacks, the second worse than the first.
We were just driving along in the line as usual, and the rear tires of the flatbed fell into a pothole. It was another big explosion. I saw the flames coming up towards the door. I was like, uh-oh. I was real surprised.
Another sergeant in his unit, Thomas Przensky, was also on his second tour of duty in Iraq, despite being wounded 8 months earlier.
We never had any arguments or any discrepancies with each other. So I have no idea at this minute to tell why he actually shot me.
Sergeant Cole tells it like this. He was visiting friends in their living quarters at about 1 a.m. He sat down on a bunk, browsed through a car magazine. Sergeant Przensky was watching television.
Then after that, I saw him pull out the 9mm from inside him. So I went back in the magazine. I just kept my eyes in the magazine, and I heard him say, "You know I'm going to shoot you, right?" And I said, "Shoot me?" I said, "For what?"
Did you think he was just playing?
Yeah, I think he was just joking around or something. So I just ignored what he was saying. Went back in the magazine. I was browsing through the magazine. Then he's like, "I'm going to shoot you." Then he said, "Well, hear this. Since you could dodge IEDs, let me see you dodge this bullet."
Meaning the 2 explosions you survived.
Yes. Then the Beretta was right to his left hip, and he squeezed the trigger. Then I was shot. I lost so much blood. My whole PT uniform was red. I couldn't feel my right hand or my left hand. I couldn't feel my legs. I was praying to God, and I hope I'll be able to go home and I'll be able to see my family again, and that everything will be okay with me.
Sergeant Cole was evacuated to Landstuhl Army Hospital in Germany. The family says the Army at first misinformed them about what really happened.
On February 28th at about 6 a.m., which was my mother's birthday, my wife received a call from the Pentagon saying that I was shot in the neck and that it was a training accident. They also went on to say that a 9mm weapon had fell off my shoulder, and that's what caused me to get shot in the neck. They thought that I wasn't probably going to make it, so they tried to get their story together. But afterwards, find out that I was stable in Germany, then they tried to switch stuff around.
What happened with the investigation is still unclear, but at least one Army investigator was suspicious from the get-go. In an email to Sergeant Cole, he said, "This case was almost not a case. There was no investigation by CID initially. The reason was that the witnesses in the room all lied. There was a cover-up going on at first." Eventually, Przensky was charged with failure to obey a general order or regulation, assault with a dangerous weapon, and reckless endangerment. And here's where the story takes another odd turn. Last March, after he'd already admitted shooting Sergeant Cole and while his court-martial trial was still pending, Sergeant Przensky was one of the soldiers standing in uniform to greet Senator John McCain at a Washington ceremony honoring soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. How was a soldier accused of shooting a member of his own Army unit permitted to get so close to the Republican presidential candidate? Was it an oversight, poor judgment, a security breach? The Army told us there were no pretrial restrictions for Przensky because he was not considered a threat. During court-martial proceedings, Sergeant Przensky showed signs of what appeared to be acute stress. His attorney described his condition this way during a deposition.
He is in what appears to me to be a near catatonic state, to speak loosely. is shivering and shaking, and he's been teary-eyed and drooling, staring off into space.
During his trial this summer, Przensky acknowledged drinking alcohol on the night of the shooting. He testified that he did not recall key moments of the incident. A military judge convicted Przensky on all counts. He faced up to 13 years in a military prison, but was sentenced to 4.5 years and is now seeking clemency. Sergeant Cole is expected to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair.
I haven't really lived much of a life. I'm still young. I'm 28 years old. As you can see my present condition, I can't really do much for myself. Someone has to be there to do for me what I can't do for myself. I have no idea if I'd even be able to have any kids in the future, which really just tears me apart. I always pray to God that I'll be able to recover from this, but I don't know, to be honest with you.
Sergeant Przensky declined comment through his attorney, but in an email he sent to Sergeant Cole 5 weeks after the shooting, he said, "I want you to know that I have never been more sorry in my life. That night was a mistake, a total accident."